So, you know, you've mentioned WrestleMania, you've mentioned Netflix, you've mentioned the Mattel figure. There are things in the future, but, you know, in the writing of your autobiography and obviously the reception it's had so far, is there a sense also, Steph, of just like, yeah, like I've genuinely succeeded and I've genuinely achieved so much? Are you able to look back and realize how far you've come?
Yes, I am now. And I wasn't, like, there were times in my life where I wasn't able to see that. Like, for instance, when I worked at WWE, like the whole time that I lived in America, I never had a single thing wrestling in my house. Like, I didn't have any wrestling stuff. I didn't have any art on the wall of like any of my achievements. I didn't have anything. And a lot of my friends who were achieving their dreams or their goals would have, here's my NXT Women's Championship replica belt. Here's my Mattel figure. Here's the poster of the pay-per-view I was on. Here's XYZ. And because I hadn't achieved any of those things, I didn't feel like anything that I had done was worthy of celebrating or displaying. You know, I was like, well, I'm going to wait until I get, you know, achieve whatever. Then all of a sudden I'm not with WWE anymore. And I just kind of had this like breakthrough moment that once I did it when I was on the PWI. Once I got the PWI cover, I realized, like, if I don't start celebrating and enjoying this shit, I'm going to be 45 and it's going to be all said and done. And I'm going to look back and go, Grinch, stop. I'm going to look back and go, I never enjoyed any of it. I didn't celebrate any of it. And I already feel like that about my time at NXT. Because I was so stressed and I was so caught up and I was so on edge, I don't think I ever stood there once and went, you know what, Shawn Michaels is my boss. And that's pretty cool. Yeah. You know, and those are things that I now make myself enjoy. Like, I have a Steph De Lander Mance Warner shrine behind me. Yes, It's a cool backdrop for an interview, but it's also constant reminders of, hey, I still have a lot of stuff I want to do, but I have done a lot of cool shit so far. You know, like, I have a quote on my wall that is actually from Grey's Anatomy. Hold on. I have to take this dog toy. Grinch. Thank you. I have a quote from Grey's Anatomy, and it says, make a plan, set a goal, work toward it, but every now and again, look around, drink it in, because this is it. It might all be gone tomorrow. And it's true. Like, and especially once you have a neck injury, like, you realize more than ever, like, this can get taken away from you at any point. So now I definitely stop and smell the roses a lot, but I never did at WWE. And that's something that, you know, next time around, when I do go back eventually, whenever that is, I will change that. That will not be the same way. And even now, you know, I was at the tapings on the weekend. I was in the ring with Tommy Dreamer, and I made sure to have a second of, that's Tommy Dreamer. That's one of my heroes. You know, even in the segment, like, I always want to make sure that I'm taking this stuff, like, I'm soaking it in, I'm enjoying it, I'm celebrating the wins, which I never did. I'm manifesting the future stuff, which, like, in my book, I write about it, but, like, I used to say, like, I just know I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. I was terrified of getting fired. I was terrified of my boyfriend breaking up with me. I was terrified of all these things happening. And my therapist was like, hey, you might be manifesting this shit. Like, there is power outwardly. So if you don't want these things to happen, verbalizing it all the time certainly isn't going to help you. You know what I mean? So once I learned that, I've been very cognizant of what I say.